In studying the life stories of early country music artists, the one thread it seems that they have in common is a hard life. However, I'm not sure I would be able to find a harder life than the one that Merle Haggard led. His story is the classic American story of sin and redemption. Think of this story the next time you listen to one of his songs. Only a man who had lived them could sing them with such honesty and feeling. Merle Haggard was born on April 6, 1937, in Oildale, California. Haggard's parents were Flossie Mae Harp and James Francis Haggard. The family moved to California from their home in Chakota, Oklahoma during the Great Depression, after their barn burned in 1934. They settled with their two elder children, Lowell and Lillian, in an apartment in Bakersfield, while James started working for the Santa Fe Railroad. A woman who owned a boxcar placed in Oildale, a nearby town, asked Haggard's father about the possibility of converting it into a house. He remodeled the boxcar and soon after moved in, also purchasing the lot where Merle Ronald Haggard was born. The property was eventually expanded by building a bathroom, a second bedroom, a kitchen, and a breakfast nook in the adjacent lot. In 1946, Haggard's father died of a brain hemorrhage. The 9-year-old Haggard was deeply affected by the loss, and it remained a pivotal event to him for the rest of his life. To support the family, Haggard's mother took a job as a bookkeeper. Older brother Lowell gave his guitar to Merle when Merle was 12. Haggard learned to play it on his own, with the records he had at home, influenced by Bob Wills, Lefty Frizzell, and Hank Williams. If you're enjoying this video, why not take a moment to like and subscribe, and hit the notification bell. That way you don't miss one of our upcoming videos. Now back to our story. While his mother was out working during the day, Haggard started getting into trouble. She sent him to a juvenile detention center for a weekend to try and correct him, but his behavior did not improve. If anything, he became worse. By the age of 13, Haggard was stealing and writing bad checks. In 1950, he was caught shoplifting and sent to a juvenile detention center. The following year, he ran away to Texas with his friend Bob Teague. The two rode freight trains and hitchhiked throughout the state. When they returned later that year, the two boys were accused of robbery and sent to jail. This time, they had not actually committed the crime and were released when the real robbers were found. The experience did not change Haggard much. He was again sent to a juvenile detention center later that year, from which he and his friend again escaped and headed to Modesto, California. There, he worked a series of laborer jobs, including potato truck driver, short order cook, hay pitcher, and oil well shooter. Musically, his debut performance was with Teague in a Modesto bar named the Fun Center, for which he was paid $5 and given free beer. In 1951, he returned to Bakersfield, where he was arrested again for truancy and petty larceny, and sent to the juvenile detention center. After another escape, he was sent to the Preston School of Industry, a high-security installation. He was released 15 months later, but was sent back after beating a local boy during a burglary attempt. After Haggard's release, he and Teague saw Lefty Frizzell in concert. The two sat backstage where Haggard began to sing along. Hearing the young man from the stage, Frizzell refused to go on unless Haggard was allowed to sing first. Haggard did, and was well received by the audience. After this experience, Haggard decided to pursue a career in music. At night, He would sing and play in local bars, while working as a farmhand or in the oil fields during the day. Married and plagued by financial issues, in 1957 he tried to rob a Bakersfield roadhouse, was caught and arrested. Convicted, he was sent to Bakersfield jail. After an escape attempt, he was transferred to San Quentin prison on February 21, 1958. There, he was prisoner number A45200. While in prison, Haggard learned that his wife was expecting another man's child, which pressed him psychologically. He was fired from a series of prison jobs and planned to escape along with another inmate nicknamed Rabbit. James Kendrick was his real name, but was convinced not to escape by fellow inmates. While at San Quentin, Haggard started a gambling and brewing racket with his cellmate. After he was caught drunk, he was sent for a week to solitary confinement, where he encountered Carl Chessman, an author and death row inmate. Meanwhile, Rabbit had successfully escaped only to shoot a police officer and be returned to San Quentin for execution. Chessman's predicament, along with the execution of Rabbit, inspired Haggard to change his life. He soon earned a GED and kept a steady job in the prison textile plant. He also played for the prison's country music band, attributing a performance by Johnny Cash at the prison on New Year's Day 1959 as his main inspiration to join it. He was released from San Quentin on parole in 1960. In 1972, after Haggard had become an established country music star, then California Governor Ronald Reagan granted Haggard a full and unconditional pardon for his past. Thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe. Sure would help us out a lot with YouTube.